correct?
Yes, my name is Marta. I have a sister whose name is Mary, and I work in the kitchen. I help serve people food, so that's my main job.
Oh, great. And I understand that you also work with immigrants as well, immigrants here in San Jose, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I help immigrants who help out, like clean the houses or help out serve food. So I think it's great. We have that. It demonstrates that the church really is really helping out people who probably have no voice here.
About wages, you said wages you withheld from workers who harvest your fields are crying out loud, and the cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord of hosts. Do you think that God really hears issues about labor and wages? I mean, what is this? What are you saying? That's a wild assumption.
Well, when I wrote that, I was talking to some people that knew Jesus very well, and they told me that yes, he very much cared for that.
And why should we get involved in minimum wage work and helping low-wage workers? What's the story there?
Well, if you go walk with him, you'll understand the story. Go do it.
And as I always try to talk about, is that the people of God need an advocate, and the people of God need all of us to come together and recognize what's going on, who's oppressing whom, and most importantly, don't be afraid to stand up and speak for others. There's too many people that worry about their image and themselves, and they forget about the other people in the world who are struggling just to be noticed.
Well, I know that this is kind of embarrassing. I mean, you had a bit of a past. Can you tell me about what happened to you? How did you come to know this Jesus guy?
Well, I had all these demons. I don't know where they came from, but, you know, all of them were having fun with me. I was having fun with them.
What's your life like now that you're done with the demons?
Everything is new.
Yeah.
Everything is new, and it feels like everything is new and that I need to start all over again. And that's one of the things I'm trying to figure out what to do next. Definitely there's going to be a lot of change from my usual behavior from the past, from my being alone, being selfish, being into my own. I think I want to go and enjoy being in a community, help people within a community, get involved, or be committed to something good.
Great.
Well, I'm Carol, and my son-in-law brought this Jesus, who helped me because I was ill. Thank God, I thank Jesus for helping me because he was able to help me. I didn't have any help from other places. I didn't have any help. No help when you're sick is hard. And so nowadays, people who are sick, they need some help, and without insurance, that would be hard.
Well, it was at the temple when his parents, which were a really nice family, brought this baby for redemption to the temple.
And today, I mean, there's a lot of babies being born today. How do you take care of every single one of them? And should it be our job to take care of every baby?
Yes, it should be. I think we should provide health care for all the babies. And as Christians, we are called to take care of all our people, and babies are the most important people that can be.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And what's your name?
My name is Anna Asher.
And how did you get to know this? How did you get to know this Jesus?
Well, the way I got to know this Jesus is because for years, we knew that there was going to be this man that was going to be born as a baby, and the person that will bring justice and love to this world. Well, I think, as a society, people need to be aware of the needs of people of my age, and I think the government has also a role in that, making sure that funds go to special programs to help us to have an important role in our society.
Hi, tell me your name.
Tyler.
Tyler, what do you have in your hands? What is it that you're holding up there?
I have a ½ pound of salmon.
Okay, now how did you? Well, I don't know why you're holding it, but tell me about why. Tell me about this whole Jesus thing. How did you get to know Jesus?
Well, I heard there were a lot of people who wanted food, and this is all my family had. So I decided to bring this out with a loaf of barley, which is, I do not have with me anymore.
Why don't you have it? What'd you do with it?
I got hungry on the way here. It's a long road, so I just had to eat it part of the time. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, well, so maybe it's a different loaf than that you gave to Jesus.
I figured.
Okay, so tell me about what happened. So what was the big deal about this whole thing, about feeding all these people? I mean...
Well, there was a bunch of people there. None of them had food, and they were hungry. And then here I come to the rescue, and I just brought this salmon and prayed to God that this would actually work, and gave it to Jesus. And since he is God, I think he probably heard it since I'm standing next to him. And then he fed 5,000 with it.
Well, what do you think that says for us today? I mean, do you think that how do you feed 5,000 people these days?
Well, you share. You do a lot of sharing. You might take a small bite. That means that you get to feed a lot more people, and that might just satisfy a small amount, but it's better than nothing.
When I met him, it was such a revelation because he made me feel like I was, I had a dignity, and I could do exactly the same things that men could do. This empowerment and this justice is for everybody, and that women should do these things as well as everybody else.
Great, thanks. When you were quite young, you said this line. I just want to ask you. He has thrown down the rulers from their thrones, but lifted up the lowly. I mean, to me, when I hear about that, he's dispersed the arrogant of mind and heart. The rich he has sent away empty. All this stuff. It sounds like you're advocating class warfare. What were you thinking when you said all those kinds of things?
Well, I was very young at the time, but I really think I had the right idea.
Really, you think you had the right idea?
Yes, I do.
Oh my goodness! Well, tell me a little bit about what does that mean for us today as a church, as Christians?
I think it means that we need to challenge the status quo. We need to challenge our hierarchy and bring justice to the lowly.
That was a tough night.
Oh, it's a tough night. For who? You or Jesus?
Well, for all of us. Here we are in the garden praying, and all of a sudden this crowd comes out, and they take Jesus. And we went from being a community to being individuals. After I went all through this, I realized that to be a Christian, you can't be an individual. It's being part of a community which defines you as a Christian. He came for us, for each of us, and in turn, he obligated us to be there for each other.
I guess you probably don't need a lot of introduction, but tell me, what are you doing nowadays?
I'm working at Whole Foods nowadays.
So I was hungry and you gave me the food, I was thirsty, you gave me the drink, I was strange, you welcomed me, naked, you clothed me, ill, you cared for me, and in prison you visited me. But what you do for the least of these, you do unto me. What exactly does that mean for us today?
Well, it probably means today what it meant then. It was my Father and mine's greatest commandment, to love each other as ourselves.
Because when he went to talk to you, he was writing on the ground. What exactly did he say?
Yeah, I don't know why people don't remember what it said, because clearly he said that we need comprehensive immigration reform. Clearly he wrote down that we need health care, just wages for all the workers. Clearly it said equal rights for women. Clearly it said end human trafficking. Well, clearly it says Glenn Beck is an idiot.
For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat, and I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me.